Welcome to Dave C., straight from the pit. Thought for today's show, we could talk about 1986, Lifeline. Here's his card art. It says, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. It's got the 1986 to 1989 G.I. Joe lettering on the top. And of course it has the 1986 digital explosion on it. And inside the top bubble, it's got his EMS kit. That's the white rescue kit there. It's got a relay backpack, they call it, and a double action 9mm pistol, as well as an oxygen mask. And it says codename Lifeline, Rescue Trooper. And here's a look at him in the 1986 G.I. Joe pamphlet that came with all the G.I. Joe toys that year. And he's in between Sci-Fi and Iceberg down there. It says Lifeline, Rescue Trooper. He was in the G.I. Joe Marvel comic, but didn't really play a big role in Larry's book. But in the Sumbo animated series, he had quite a few good episodes, including one with a girl that he meets named Bree, and they kind of have a bit of a relationship. So I thought I would show some of that now.
Industrial sabotage at several of my Bohemian factories. Jealous business rivals, I supposed. But not this. It's like a war.
That's exactly what it is, Mr. Van Mark. A war between Cobra and the world.
Yeah, and you seem to be caught smack in the middle.
But that makes no sense. This was just a coconut milk bottling operation. A minor cog in Van Mark Industries.
Lifeline! Wait up! I want to thank you for saving Daddy and me.
Oh, I'm just doing my job, Miss Van Mark. Oh, brother.
Please, call me Bree. My name's Brittany, but everyone calls me Bree. You were so brave.
No, they're the brave ones. They fought that fire in your father's plant, and right now they need help. So, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, sure. We can talk some other time. Oh, wow.
I don't have Lifeline's file card, but I do have the Marvel Order of Battle book that includes him. It says codename Lifeline, Rescue Trooper. File name, Edwin C. Steen. Primary military specialty, medic. Birthplace, Seattle, Washington. This is some nice artwork here, done by Herb, of course. Pretty good detail. Lifeline was a paramedic with the Seattle Fire Department for 5 years before he discovered that EMS personnel who were disabled while giving aid off-duty were not eligible for pensions. In his mind, rescue personnel were never off-duty. He decided to make his status permanent by enlisting in the Army as a corpsman. So this is pretty interesting because it kind of shows how Larry would kind of include real-world things on the file cards, because he didn't have to say, about how certain people may not get pensions and how it's not fair, but he chose to do that because Larry kind of looked at life in a blue-collar way, in my opinion, and on the file cards, a lot of the times, he would include kind of different things about working class and just about being like a regular person in society, and how funny it is for some of the higher positions or corporations and how they kind of mistreat people. And this was one of them. And I just really appreciate Larry for, keeping it real and having things like that on the file cards. And as kids, maybe we didn't understand it, but if our parents read it, they sure as heck did. And so I just like seeing that. Elite units always take care of their own. The Joes are no exception. The troops have to know that if something really heavy comes down on them and they're in no condition to walk out of the mess, somebody is going to have the heart to wade in and extract them. That somebody is Lifeline. And his character kind of reminds me of maybe that World War II movie, Hacksaw Ridge, where that medic is just running around without a weapon and he's saving people's lives. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's pretty wacky, but that was the actual truth. And just insane how these medics would do that for people in battle, totally sacrificing their own neck just to save people. And another interesting thing is that on the cartoon, they portrayed him as being a pacifist. And a lot of fans didn't like that, when we were kids, because a big part of G.I. Joe we enjoyed was weapons and, war and fighting and all that stuff. And they kind of made him out to be kind of a wimp. But I think it was good for the storyline, for the cartoon for kids to watch, because it showed that not everybody had to be like the toughest soldier in the world or the best guy with a gun, necessarily, to be important in the military. This figure came with a 9mm Browning double-action pistol, it says on the package. And there it is there. And the backpack, they call the relay pack. And there is the EMS kit with an oxygen mask. And when it opens up, it looks like that. As in this Mark Bellamo book that I always enjoy reading. Here's a better look at his figure. He's pretty much red and white. And he's got green glasses. He's got some goggles above his glasses with a red helmet. He's got some white pouches on his chest with a rescue patch on his chest. Kind of a baggy jacket with an elastic at the end by his arm to hold his jacket on. He's got a holster there, but there's no gun in it, interestingly enough, as a pacifist. He's got a white and silver belt. He's got rescue written down his right leg. And there's a flashlight on his left leg with a white pouch. He's got a K-bar knife, so there's a weapon on his boot. And there's a pistol, so he does have a pistol, other than the one that he came with on his person. I don't know if that's a K-bar knife. I don't want people to correct me in the comments. That was like a World War II knife, so some kind of military knife for 1986, we'll say, because that's when the figure came out. And he's got white boots. And we can flip him around, look at the back. He's got silver straps on the back. He's got dark black hair. And just red and white. He's just a lot of red and white. And I remember that as a kid, and I did get this figure. I was excited to add him to the Joe team because I thought he would be a good guy to go with Doc. Because I always would have the Doc repairing guys medically and running around the battlefield, taking people on a stretcher to safety. So I thought maybe this figure and this character could help with that. I thought to end today's video, I thought I would show you guys some G.I. Joe stuff that I got recently. And this 1983 Airborne card back I got off a friend of mine who lives close to me, and he's selling some of his doubles, his 1980s duplicate collection stuff. So this one here I remember quite fondly. I got this for Christmas in 1983, this figure. And something cool about it is, I don't know if you can see, but it says Sears on the price tag. And that's the exact store where I got my 1983 Airborne for Christmas back in 83, along with the Command Center and some other Joes, like Snow Job. So we're pretty sure that this one came from like Sears, Eastgate, or Limeridge Mall, which are malls that are around me when I was a kid. So I think it's pretty cool that, that I can have that in my collection again. And for all I know, some kid might have took this one right off the pegs right after my dad did, after he got it for me for Christmas that year. So because you can see there it's a Canadian edition. And yeah, but anyway, so I'm happy to get that one. And I talked about it a few videos ago, how I didn't have a beachhead that had his dick still in place. And so as you can see there is Beachhead. He's still packing, which is good. And yeah, happy to have that. I didn't have to pay a whole lot because I got it from my friend who I've known. He operates one of the booths at the Mississauga show and different shows in the area. But I actually got to go to his house today. He invited me, and it was really enjoyable. So had a good time talking to him and talking about Joes and 80s Joes. And really, that's the most important thing, really, is if you're still having fun, I think, with all this stuff. It's not just about prices and, haggling and even trying to complete your collection. Like, realistically, you're never going to complete your 80s Joe collection anyway, maybe, because there's so much stuff, from 82 to 94. Yeah, but anyway, I'll always collect, I think, because I love doing it, and it's just really fun. I also got this Pathfinder off him. I didn't have Pathfinder. I think he's a 1990 guy. But I'm not a really big 1990s G.I. Joe guy. I'm more of an 80s Joe guy. So if somebody knows what year he's from, you can leave it in the comments. He's kind of a cool looking figure. And then I got Serpentor's Air Chariot complete. 1986, of course. And I had this one as a kid. I have them now. I have two of them, but they're not complete. So, as you know, having this stuff complete is, better than not having it complete. So I'm happy to have it. I didn't have the Cobra head on it, and I didn't have the cowling there. So now I have one that's complete. So I can display him with Serpentor. And I got this blowtorch off of him because I didn't have Blowtorch's yellow helmet or his yellow oxygen mask. So I thought, well, for a few dollars more I can get the whole figure. So I just gave him a couple more bucks to get a pretty much mint 1984 Blowtorch with all his stuff. And the last guy I got is this guy. I think he's from 1994. I have to look in my Mark Bellamo book, or perhaps on 3D Joe's to research him. He's a diver guy, and I think he's from 1994. He looks kind of like Wetsuit, but I like his green accents on his uniform. I think that looks pretty cool. So we'll do some research on him. Yeah, anyway, just want to thank you guys for watching again, and I really appreciate it. And I'm really happy that I've surpassed 700 subscribers. And I'm also really happy that I haven't buckled to any kind of monetization, because I don't do this for money at all. And I wouldn't have this channel for making money, because I don't really, I don't know. It's not about that. This stuff is more about fun. So I kind of like it that I'm just having music that I want in it, and saying things that I believe in it, instead of maybe worrying about making money with it. You might get the real, more realistic version of a guy like Dave C, instead of some clown that's just going to tell you a bunch of bullcrap because he's worried about getting a paycheck. And so hopefully that's why some of you guys watch me. So until the next one, yo Joe.
Like